episode 3. And for this topic, we're going to go ahead and just put it out there, cheating. But it's not just going to be about cheating. It's about what drives a man to do it, how you can get him back home, why do men cheat, who knows, I don't know. So that's why I have a relationship expert here. He's going to tell us.
It's only men that cheat too. See that, right?
Yeah. See, that's why I like
You
him.
didn't say women.
Because we don't really do that. Do we, ladies? No. I'll just play. We do. We get in trouble too. So let's see. I guess I'm gonna just start with the first question. Breach 11. We're gonna do this one a little different. It's just gonna be, I guess, me asking some questions to just get the male psyche mind going. So we can see what's going on. So my expert, my guy. The day-old question: why do men cheat?
Why do men cheat?
Why do people cheat in relationships?
Okay, so the last conversation we had, we talked about that, right?
We did.
And we talked about responsibility. We talked about getting into a situation, knowing what you want out of the situation, and being clear with what it is from the beginning. So cheating occurs in a lot of our relationships. I always say in my opinion because somebody's gonna have something to say.
Right.
But cheating occurs in my opinion because it boils down to the same thing of not being serious
Right.
or not having an understanding with your woman or your man when y'all get into the situation, right?
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that that's, and then you got to understand like who you're dealing with. So if you're dealing with a godly space that's biblical and that's, y'all have a relationship that's based on that, then there's certain things that are there, certain standards that you may undertake or partake in that you may not partake in if you have a worldly mindset. If you have a worldly mindset and y'all just doing whatever you want to do, and there's no rules, there's no morals involved, then y'all have a different standard.
Okay. So let me for those that might have been living under a rock that don't understand what worldly view is, how would you break that down for them? Like a worldly view on
So you have relationships. You have a biblical standpoint of relationships, marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had marriage in the Old Testament. You had concubines in the Old Testament. You had harlots in the Old Testament. You had whoremongers in the scriptures. So all of those things in the Old and New Testament, you have all of those things. You have men that had multiple wives in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you have our church standards and our society standards in this American society, where marriage is set up as one man, one woman. In different cultures, though, like some African cultures, marriage is set up like a man has more than one wife. In the Mormon culture, a man has more than one wife. Now we have these words that came out in the last, I don't know how many years, but it's poly, and you add whatever you want to it.
That's true.
So
now we just got all of these made up.
Right, so it's different standards that are there in different situations. And I think that a lot of times the male role has to be established, and the male role is not established in a lot of these situations. So
how does the male role get established? Like, is this from coming up? Is this, what I'm saying, he should be raised?
upbringing has a lot to do with it. Like if you was raised a Muslim, or if you was raised in a different country, you may have a more than one wife standpoint.
Right.
If you was raised here and your father and your mother were married and that's what you saw, then you'll have a one wife mentality. You understand what I'm saying? But then if you came here and you learned a different religion, like you became a Mormon or you became a Hebrew Israelite, you might take on the more than one wife mindset, right?
Right.
But somebody that doesn't have that upbringing or doesn't have that background, for me to tell a woman that I meet on the street, yo, cool with having more than one wife, right? It's and she gonna look at you like I'm crazy.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying?
We will.
Y'all gonna look at us like we crazy.
Right. We
So-
ain't having it.
But so the reason why you're not having it is because that's not how we were raised. So all of these dynamics are thrown into the same pot now.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And we're trying to get an answer for everybody, but everybody doesn't have the same standard.
That's true. That's a great perspective. And I think that's something we're not looking at. How we can raise, how is your upbringing, what you're used to, what you're not used to, what's acceptable to you, what's not acceptable to me. Then you put them two people together and you got chaos. And
Right,
it's like-
because they rubbing purses already, and then nobody knows what anybody stands for. So now, he got 6 people in his phone that's hollering at him. You have 1,000 dudes getting at you in your phone, and you're getting energy from all of these different places. He's getting energy from all of these different places that y'all didn't establish with your relationship.
So now it's just,
It's chaos,
right,
straight chaos.
right.
Um,
So are you saying that's the doorway? Or did you like,
I'm saying in responsibility, right?
yeah,
But like I said the other time, you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know what you're getting into. You gotta know what you're dealing with. And if you're already in a situation, you gotta sit down and talk. You gotta sit down and vibe. Because, like, for me personally, I had somebody tell me you know, you going back to doing certain things, and I'm just like, that wasn't the conversation that we had. You know what I'm saying? So if I have the conversation in the beginning, most of the time I'll have the conversation. I think.
oh, you initiate.
Yeah, I'll have the conversation of what it is that I want to do. And I wasn't always that way, but now that's what it is, because I told you.
So let me ask you, how was it before, since you weren't always that way?
I mean, you try to get your sin in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
try to get your sin in. You try to get what you want out of the situation, and then you see what happens afterwards. And that's chaos.
Right.
It's chaos.
Because you have an alternative motive.
You don't have the same. Y'all are not on the same page.
Yeah.
It's not. It may not be ulterior, but y'all just not on the same page.
So it's all this chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like you say, you go cheating in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now what?
Now,
You
if
try to fix that and you get on the same page?
no, what happens is a lot of that is associated with pain. Because once you violate what you thought was a relationship, now pain is on both sides, regardless of who does the violating. So if the woman does the violating, the man is in pain, and vice versa. And now, a lot of times we'll go into another situation without having to deal with that pain,
Right.
because you just continue in the same process of madness, and it multiplies. It never, and then once it multiplies, it becomes insurmountable.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's just like a mountain that you can't get through it.
Right. So that's one way. Different upbringings.
Mhm.
What about just the greediness? Yeah, me and you on the same page. You're wonderful, but I still want to go there too.
So that's a lust factor,
Okay.
right? There's lust, and then there's sexual. I forgot the name of it. It's like the sexual appetite.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some people have a higher sexual appetite than others. Most men, have a higher sex. Men usually have.
Yeah, just
All right, I don't want y'all to crucify me, right? Because I'm about to say something, and I don't want to get crucified.
hold the crucifix.
Right, hold the crucifix.
Hold on, hold the
Hold the
cross.
fire.
Right.
You have to know your man's sexual appetite. You have to know your woman's sexual appetite. If she's a woman, and then that also comes in dealing with the person before you end up sleeping with them. Because you'll know their sexual appetite if y'all actually have conversations, y'all actually have time spent together.
Right. Not just texting. Right.
Not just texting, but
Phone,
actually
spending time.
interacting with each other before y'all sexually engage.
Now, what about the Steve Harvey, the 90 days? What's your take on that? Wait, 90 days?
Please don't throw the look on my face.
You just over there talking. Is that
Listen,
not a good?
I'm
too
not
good for women?
I'm not gonna put a date, a standard on it, because everybody's not gonna go by the same thing.
But do men respect that more the longer you make them wait for sex? The more they
Depends on
respect
the
you?
man. It depends on. then it depends on if you're dealing with a man, because you could be dealing with just a guy that wants to
Yeah.
satisfy his appetite,
Okay. And so whether you make him wait 1 day or 90, it's gonna be the same outcome.
but he'll have other in betweens that 90 days.
So what should women do? Expert? Should we wait the 90 days? Like, what? Because we don't know what y'all men are really thinking. When you, hey, what's up? Take my number. I want to get to know you.
But
And if feelings are there, let's say you wait 3 weeks. And now you done went to the next one.
so, Steve, you was like, what do we do?
Yeah. he's
I don't know. Develop a standard for yourself individually, right?
Okay.
But then, if you're a woman that's playing games, because okay, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
All of us play games.
Right.
So if you're a woman that's playing games and you got your sneaky links on the side and all of that other stuff, you have to realize like what space are you in as far as your lust goes? What space are you in as far as what you're trying to satisfy for you?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because you
Yeah.
may be in this dude at this dude because of an ulterior motive.
Yeah, that's true. Because that happens on our side. too.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know that you're not interested in him. Or you know that if you know that you just got out of a situation
Right.
and you're getting into another situation, you haven't healed from that last situation.
So how long does it take to heal from?
It depends on the individual. And then it
Okay.
depends on what tools they have.
Wow. So see, you can't just call up people. You really need tools.
You need
Maybe
tools,
a diary, journal,
prayer,
prayer.
fasting,
Mhm.
meditation.
Yeah.
You need to go to your creator,
Mhm.
not your provider.
Right.
And
But
what
your
I mean by that
creator.
is a lot of times Satan is our provider.
Mm.
God is our creator.
Mm.
And we don't know that. We think that God is our provider because we're being provided for.
Right. Right.
But our desires and our lust are being provided for. And if your lust is being provided for, that's not God providing for your lust.
Boom. Well, if I had a mic, I would probably just walk off. Wow. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, a lot of times your lust is being provided for. That's why there's a passage where Satan took Christ up to a high mountain,
Yeah.
showed him all the kingdoms, and said, all of this can be yours if you just worship me.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
I see what you're saying.
So, a lot of y'all are worshiping Satan. A lot of us are worshiping.
Right.
and
We didn't
giving
put y'all just out there.
Right.
We said we all.
Been in the space where we're worshiping Satan,
Right.
where we're giving Satan our power, where we're
And not
giving
even
Satan our
knowing
energy.
it.
And you're not even knowing it because you think that it's just attention.
Right.
You think that it's just, oh, that dude like me, and this dude like me, and that dude like me, and this dude like me. But like we said before about confusion,
Uh-huh.
God is not the author of confusion.
Right. It's not. So that's coming from somewhere else.
Right. It's coming from another direction.
So it sounds like you're saying if we stay in prayer and keep that relationship strong, less distractions, less for Satan, for us to think he's really providing anything, we'll know that who our creator and our source is.
Yeah, but the problem is it's gonna hurt.
We don't like pain.
Yeah, we don't like pain.
We don't like discomfort, pain.
We don't like anything that doesn't feel
Right.
comfortable. We don't like anything that doesn't feel good to
That
us.
helps us grow.
Because for you to get through, if you continue to stack the layers that are painful, for you to get to healing, you got to get to the bottom.
You're right, because I was going to therapy and she was wanting to like go deeper, and I just stopped going because some stuff I just wasn't ready to talk about. I wasn't
Right.
ready to open
Right.
back up.
Right.
So that's true.
Right.
Okay.
And when you're in prayer, a lot of times, and when you're in fasting, you're able to get through those levels, but it hurts. Like it hurts tremendously, and there's no remedy for it when you actually want to heal.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You have to go through that. You got to go towards the pain and go through it.
That's all the way towards it and through it. So, a lot of women get backlash if they do take a man back or vice versa after they cheat. What's your advice on, do you really work that out? Because society will say, oh, you need to leave him, blah, blah, blah. Then if they do stay, oh, you stay, I can't believe you stayed, blah, blah, blah. So, like, what are your thoughts on that when you stand with somebody that just continuously
It depends on, like I said, it depends on your upbringing.
Okay.
You know, if your man made it clear that he wanted to be with you and somebody else, then that's what you have to work with, right? If you agree to that, that's what you have to work with. But the dude got to be honest as well. You understand what I'm saying? Because he could actually love you and actually love somebody else. The other way around
Yeah.
doesn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no man in that situation.
Yeah.
So we're not the same. Men and women are not the same.
Right.
And we keep getting told that we're the same, and we're not. You understand what I'm saying? We're not the same. So, if it's two men and one woman, then that woman is the head. And then that throws off the balance.
Yeah.
Because how is she the head when the man is the man? How is she ends up being who they worship?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The worship then goes to her. Like they're doing whatever her bidding is. And that's a little thrown off for me, in my opinion.
You good on that?
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Coach over here, he good on that.
But
Our
they're
relationship
actually,
coach.
sorry, they're actually women that have the mindset that they can have as many dudes as they want, worshiping them with their finances, worshiping them with their compliments, worshiping them with gifts. You understand what I'm saying? And they think that that's okay. But they don't have any respect for those men.
Now we could say that's their upbringing too, right? Maybe
Yeah.
whoever raised her up, she's seen that and she's like, okay, this is how it goes.
Right. But then you got to see what the value is for yourself
Right.
in that situation. I'm not telling you don't value yourself, but what standard is there? You know what I'm saying? Because it's confusion. Like, let's say you were with all of those men within a week's time, and you didn't protect yourself, and now 3 weeks later, you miss your. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now you got to figure out what's what.
And I seen Amari's show. Right. So, okay, that makes sense.
And that's why it's confusing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's something unnatural and it's what I'm thinking. It's not. If you was with 10 dudes,
Right.
excuse me, if you was with both of them dudes that week and you miss your monthly the next
Right.
couple
You
weeks,
don't know.
who's,
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying?
Unless you close your eyes, just that one. I think. Maybe.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, but this is the standard that we've been brought to.
Right.
Do what satisfies you. Do what's good for you. I heard a young lady say, if a man leaves his wife or his household, that he's, bashed and told that he's a horrible man. But if a man leaves because his girl is, in a certain way. I mean, excuse me, if a woman leaves, then she's, do what's good for you, sis.
Yeah.
Make it happy for you, sis, and all this other
Right.
stuff. Like,
You do get a lot of positive. You need that. Yes. Go find yourself a good.
and I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, how does that work? On either
So what? That's bad advice.
to
You
tell.
yeah. To tell her, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it might not be bad advice if she's in a bad situation.
Domestic violence. Or
Yeah, absolutely. Like that absolutely.
go.
Yeah, go.
Run.
And if he can go get healing, then let him go get healed and help. And if you're gonna stand by him while he go get help, then do that. You feel what I'm
That's
saying?
the only circumstance.
That's the only way I would say that. That's what you should do
Yeah.
in that situation. Like if he's gonna go get real help,
Right.
I don't condone that at all. You know what I'm saying? On either side.
Okay.
Because there are women that are domestically abusive as well.